Good evening, and welcome to Valley Middle School for our first concert of many in the years to come in our commons. Again, we would like to thank you guys for providing this school for our students and our community. This is awesome. And thank you for everything you guys have done to make this our home. With that, we have a few housekeeping items just because I know this facility is new to a lot of people. So if you look to your left, there's a family bathroom and a drinking fountain, water bottle filler back there. Okay, so if you do need the family bathroom, it's back there. If you look to your right and kind of behind the TV over there, there's an individual bathroom. It's not set up as a family bathroom, but there's an individual bathroom there. And if you look ahead at the golden balloon, the balloon goal, through there on your left are bathrooms, boys and girls bathrooms, but each one is an individual stall. And there's also a drinking fountain over there. So, you know, if any of your needs, that's where you'd like to go. If you have small children, I would say, you know, they just need to take a break. Please do so in between songs, but I would say probably over that hallway might work a little bit better. We'd also like to ask you, if you have cell phones, would you please silence them? I don't see anybody with like big hats on, but I was going to say if somebody's sitting behind you and they can't see, gentlemen, if you remove your hats, that would be awesome. So, at this time, in a few moments, we will start our winter band concert. And it's under the direction of Mr. Tim Kanabi, as it has been for years, and he is ushering in a new era of concerts again in this Commons. And thank you for your attendance. As I shared with most of you earlier, it probably, well, we might be done with concerts by the time, but we will have double the number of chairs as soon as they all arrive in this area. But this is where we are planning on having most of our concerts and also our spring play as well. With that, I encourage you to be an active audience and have your focus, your positive focus, on the musicians who have earned their right to be on this stage tonight performing for you. Thank you, and I'll turn the mic over to Mr. Kanabi.
Thank you so much. Like Mr. Shaw was saying, this is our first time ever, and so we don't know what we don't know yet. Somebody showed me how to turn lights on this afternoon. So we would love some feedback. You know, how does it sound out there? How was the lighting? All of those kind of things. And so first ever, 6th grade bands. Well, thank you so much. So the 6th grade band, hopefully you're going to notice that the songs are just getting a little bit more complicated. If you think back to about a year and a half ago, and they were all playing the exact same thing at the same time, hot cross buns and all that good stuff. I'm sure you've heard it a million times in your house. And but now we start to pull those parts apart a little bit and really work on being very independent as a player. And each section has something completely different than the section next to them. And so you'll kind of hear that in the music tonight with the 6th grade. This next piece by William Owens is a piece called Rust Belt. right. This next piece maybe needs a little explanation. This is a piece called Rattlesnake. I want you to think kind of like the Old West, maybe cowboys and spurs on their boots and rattlesnakes and kind of deserts and all that kind of stuff. And you're going to hear some of that kind of stuff in there. You might hear some sounds that will remind you of horses and things like that. Maybe towards the ends, maybe some like a whip and all that kind of stuff. And so please enjoy our rendition of Rattlesnake. So I've been the band teacher at Valley Middle School. I think this year 27, and this is the first time we've ever really gotten to play on a stage, and we're enjoying the heck out of this. This is fantastic. And lights. What do you think? Yeah. And just so you know, none of these groups you get here tonight practiced out here. We just weren't able to figure that out logistically. Our 7th, 8th grade band and the band you see in front of you, the 6th grade band, rehearse first thing in the morning, as you're well aware, getting our students to school so early in the morning. But this area is pretty busy with breakfast, and there's lots of things going on. So we weren't quite brave enough yet to have a rehearsal while there's breakfast and a lot of chaos going on out here. So lots of new things for us. So I hope you're enjoying just the different sound and not setting the bleachers. Isn't that fantastic? Yes. Even just that's worth the price of admission, so thank you so much. We have one more piece for you, and then we're going to change gears, and we're going to bring the jazz band up. And so please enjoy Shadowfire. jazz band members, if you want to make your way over to the jazz band setup, you may do so. Sixth graders, you're just going to fill in those chairs. So we had a couple guest flute players in the last song, Selena Bowie and Samina Nudi. I asked them to sit in actually today, I think. We had a couple sixth grade flute players who were going to be on vacation, and one made it back. We weren't sure if he was going to make it back or not because of the weather, and so they literally sat in sight ready for the concert just to help out the sixth grade flute section. So let's give them a quick hand. All right, let's do this. We're not sure on this spot. 7th and 8th graders, the rest of you, why don't you just make your way to the stage? The rest of the 7th and 8th grade band, just make your way to the stage.
Oh, there it is.
And sit where you normally would. Lots of first things today. We've always had the bleachers to use, and never have tried this before, so. All right, jazz band, go ahead and play a couple notes. Be right with you. All right, so this is our jazz band, and this is a group that got to perform the songs you're going to hear tonight at the end of January. Each year we get the opportunity to play the Myra Jazz Festival. It's a festival that's been going on for a long time, and we bring in a couple guest adjudicators to work with our students. Brian Hannigan was one he's a saxophone player from South Dakota, Sioux Falls, I believe, and Dr. Jeremy Brecky he's a trumpet professor at NDSU. And so they got a chance to hear our group and work with our group. And that was our first performance of the year. And so you get to see and hear them on their second performance. This group also tomorrow is going to play, we have an assembly for our 8th graders. We have the Lieutenant Governor for the state of North Dakota coming to speak, as well as one of the senators, and then some upper admin from Grand Forks Public Schools. And so wish us luck with that as well. It's been busy in the music department, so please enjoy El Tigre. There's solos written in your program, in case I forget to tell you who's playing. Solos on this one, you're going to hear Fiona Bachta on the alto saxophone, Easton Norden on the trumpet, and Carmen Palm on the piano. This is El Tigre. All right. I think the fun thing about jazz band is we get to feature some soloists, and some of the solos you're going to hear tonight, some are improvised, meaning they make it up on the spot, literally. And sometimes they have a few notes that they follow, or maybe some different rhythms. Some of the solos you're going to hear are kind of written out. We're not going to tell you which ones are which. That's for you to decide. So you're going to the soloist on this next one. You're going to hear Serenity Kurzman on the trombone. You're going to hear Macy Call on the tenor saxophone, and Kekeli Cooley on the tenor saxophone. Oceanside. This group has one more. This song was made famous by a bass player called Jaco Pastorius. And I forget the story of this song, but there's a very famous recording where, I don't know if it was his mom's birthday, or if it was his birthday, but anyway, he basically got together some of his best friends, which were all fantastic musicians, and did this as a crazy live recording. So that's got a fun gospel beginning to it. And of course, we're going to feature our bass player, Jake Knudsen, to imitate Jaco Pastorius's solo, and also Fiona Buckner on the alto saxophone. Please enjoy The Chicken. If you wanted to take a 15-second stretch break, you certainly could as we move this group up to the stage. We'll be right with you. right, this is our 7th and 8th grade band. They meet in the mornings on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. And it's nice to give them just a few minutes just to play a little bit. What you didn't realize is most of the front row in the saxophone section in the jazz band were all doublers, meaning we had some clarinet players playing saxophone, we had a tuba player playing saxophone, we had some flute players playing saxophone. And it's nice to give them a few minutes just to play the other instrument, make sure it's going to work for them. So please enjoy our first selection called Legend of the Eagles. All right, thank you so much. Like the other groups, this is the first time in this space, and it's so much different than playing in our gymnasium in the old building. That space just echoes forever. I'm pretty sure the last notes we played on the last concert are still bouncing around in there. And so this is refreshing, and it's just giving them a chance just to adjust to how they play and how they sound up here. This next piece is a piece called Stay, and it's actually part of a larger piece of pieces of music called the Unbroken Project by Randall Stanbridge. And kind of part of the notes in here say, hey you, the one playing this, the world is better with you in it. And I think there's a lot of things in society that, you know, with suicide awareness and mental health and things like that, that's kind of part of where this piece came from. Is the composer himself struggled with all those kinds of things. He was bullied as a young band student way back in his days at about this age, and he went on to just write fantastic music as part of the healing process, and how he just kind of came to terms with some of that. He's been here in Grand Forks before, and he's kind of one of my new favorite composers. He writes just fantastic works for students. And so this is very kind of slow and delicate and has lots of expression and some really fun little themes. We've had a fun time working on this. Normally, if you throw a slow piece of music at students this age, it's an automatic no-go. It's like, no, sorry, this is slow, we don't like this. But we've really enjoyed kind of putting this together, and so please enjoy Stay. Well, thank you so much. I think one of my goals always is to try to put a march in front of our 7th and 8th graders. There's so much good teaching involved in a march, and I was in the Army for like 30 years, and we played a lot of marches. And it's good to feel how that rhythm fits together. This march, it's arranged by Larry Clark, but it says Harold Bennett as a composer. Harold Bennett was actually a pen name for Henry Fillmore, which is a very famous march composer. And a lot of those, kind of like in literature, in English and things like that, how authors would write under a different name to, I don't know, for all kinds of reasons. Maybe they wanted to write a kid's book, and so they'd come up with another name to publish works under that. So this is no exception. Harold Bennett is actually the pen name for Henry Fillmore, and arranged by Larry Clark. So please enjoy Summit March. Well, thank you so much again for coming out tonight and supporting your young musicians. We can always encourage more practice at home, right? And we like that. But thank you so much for just letting us break into brand new space. I think it's a keeper. I think we'll keep it. And like we literally didn't know what we didn't know today as I was setting up. I just stood out here for a while and kind of scratched my head and like, does the jazz band fit on the stage? No, not quite. Where did we put it? Over here. And so we have brand new choir shells and choir risers we're going to try as well, maybe to the back wall to have some kind of those deflector choir shell kind of things, and so it might look a little bit different the next time you come to a concert, and so that might be a lot of fun. Let's see, clean up tonight. If we could borrow your young musicians for just a few minutes so they can, first of all, put away their instruments of music. And all of this stuff needs to go back towards the band room. For tonight, we're gonna just put the chairs on the racks and the music stands on the racks, but all the percussion stuff should go back to the band room. Okay, sixth graders, percussion, you can help with that as well. Percussion, we're gonna use this ramp very carefully to roll our stuff down. All right, so thanks again for coming tonight. Our last piece, Upbeat. Thanks, everybody. Thanks again for coming out today. Drive safely on the way home. It's a little slippery out there. Thank you so much, everyone.